La 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 la. La 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 la. Story time, story time. You know what time it is. Story time, story time. It is story time with the Anthony KT. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Story Time with the Anthony KT. As you can tell, I'm not where I'm normally at when I do story time. I guess you could say, on location. I'm really in my car. I'm in my car. It's a little noisy in my place right now, so I needed a place where it'd be quiet and I could do this. And car was right here. I figured I'd just do it in the car. So here we are. So let's get into it. This is a new episode of Storytime with the Anthony KT. Remember that we're right where we are with the American for this for the Storytime with Anthony KT. Now, for the American, if you want to read the story itself, the link is in the bio. For those who are watching this on Instagram, on Facebook, and on my YouTube channel. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit a like button, comment, let me know what y'all think. The link is in the bio if you're on Instagram, Facebook, or on my YouTube channel. Now, if you happen to be watching this on TikTok, then you're going to go on my page and you're going to click on that Instagram icon. And you click on that, it'll take you to my Instagram page. Link is in the bio. We got that. We're cool. Let's get into it. So, we're right here, chapter 4 of the American. And James wakes up the next day after feeling embarrassed about what happened while he was at Radio Rooftop when he bumped into Sophia. So now we're waking up and it's the next day for James. Here we go. The next day, James was feeling much more rested and ready to explore London. He first thought he would check out some of the obvious touristy spots around London. He first went to the National Army Museum and looked at the history of the British Army from the 1600s to present day. And he was fascinated by the history of the British Army. Protected by glass, there were mannequins dressed in uniforms that men and women of the British Army wore. James was in awe being in the museum and taking in the rich history of the British Army. After spending a few hours walking around the British Army Museum, James then walked to Hyde Park. While in the park, he saw the Princess Diana fountain and took in a few minutes as he sat near the fountain while children and some adults stood in the fountain and played in the water. James just sat near the fountain and quietly said to himself, "This is a very nice park, and the fountain is beautiful." That's where I'm going to stop right there. The story, this chapter goes on and talks about him going to not just Hyde Park, but going to the Kensington Palace, going to Buckingham Palace, walking around London, seeing Big Ben, or as it's also known as the Elizabeth Tower. He goes to a pier and has fish and chips. And while walking around, he bumps in to Sophia, who is a primary teacher. He bumps into he's walking down the neighborhood and she's coming, and he walks by his school and there she is, and it's kind of like this moment where it felt like kind of meant to be. And they go off and they have coffee and they end up talking. They realize they have a lot in common. They both went through a tragedy where they lost someone, and they both like professional wrestling. They ended up talking about a lot of things, and it turned into a lot. It turned into much more than just what that one embarrassing night was. But that's the American for chapter 4. And this has been Storytime with the Anthony KT. Once again, if you want to check the American out, it is available now. And that's all I got for you. So until the next one, in the meantime and in between time, peace, y'all.